I'm Juan Francisco, and I'm a psychic medium. I'm here with you to explore your intuition, the supernatural, and self empowerment. This is Third Eyesight. Hello, my people. I am here for another episode of Third Eyesight. I'm not going to bring up the same excuses that I've been busy, although I am right now by saying that. It's been busy and I haven't put out an episode in 2 weeks. So I'm going to do you all a solid. I'm going to do 2 episodes in the next couple days. So here's today's episode. And then in 2 days, I'm going to release another episode. And I'm looking forward to these episodes. Today's episode, I think, is a very important one. And Sela agrees because she just squeaked her toy. I consider that a +1. Yes, her endorsement. And I may just take away the toy from her because it's going to make a lot of noise. Look at her toy. My neighbor gave her this little raccoon toy. And that's so cute. For those of you on YouTube, you can see this little toy. It's adorable. So, I really want to talk in the next couple of days about some topics that are not always comfortable to talk about. And today's topic is going to be about whether we need psychic mediums. And then the topic that's going to be in the episode in a couple days is about spiritual friendships that don't go the way we want them to. So stay tuned for that one in a couple days. Today is going to be a reminder episode for many of you, and it's a reminder that you need to hear. And for those of you who are new to psychic world, psychic mediumship world, your spiritual journey, this is an episode that I really want you to absorb because I think it's extremely important, and it's something that I wish I knew when I was younger. You don't need a psychic medium. Period. End of story. That may not be smart for the psychic medium business model. However, it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. You don't need a psychic medium. You don't need to see a psychic medium at all. Period. I'm going to use an analogy that I've used many times before. Let's say you want to have your favorite kind of cuisine. You could cook it at home or you can go to a restaurant. Tonight you're deciding, I'm going to a restaurant to have this meal that I really like. And this restaurant is run by a very talented chef who puts all their love into the food, their expertise and their talents, all their education, a lot of heart. They bring themselves into the food, into the cuisine, and it's delicious and amazing. You can go to that restaurant over and over and over again. It will be enjoyable, hopefully. But you can also learn how to cook that meal at home. It may not taste exactly the same because, when a chef makes it, it's just different, right? But you can try and mimic it at home and try to get as close to that as possible. And it can still be very good. Especially if you have the interest, the curiosity, the drive to want to learn and to want to do that. I believe seeing a psychic, although not exactly the same as that analogy, it's very similar. You can do what we do as psychic mediums. You can do it yourself. It's a bonus to come see a psychic medium, not a necessity for you. You can cook the meal at home yourself as well. And once in a while, still see that chef, still go to that restaurant. You can connect with your loved ones. You can gain those insights for yourself psychically just by tapping into your own intuition. And once in a while, it's wonderful. It's a bonus. It's really helpful to see a psychic medium to get that insight through them as well. Something else I want to say about psychic mediums that you should be aware of is because this is very beautiful work, because it is work that has long been criticized by very traditionalist kind of religion, there are many psychic mediums who, when they are very good at what they do, it kind of gets to their head and it becomes a a profession of ego for many psychic mediums. Not a lot. There are many, many great psychic mediums, but boy, oh boy, have I met some psychics and mediums who it's got into their head. A talented chef at a restaurant, I believe, a truly talented chef won't make you feel like they're the only, let's say, Asian cuisine chef you should ever see. The only chef with who makes Dutch cuisine, whose restaurant you should ever go to. You shouldn't see any other chef. You shouldn't go to any other chef's restaurant. A truly talented chef won't do that because a talented chef knows there are many chefs out there who are just as talented. Any psychic or medium who tells you that you need them and just them to get through life, to get through the day, warning flag. There are psychics I've seen who take advantage of people's emotions, who take advantage of people's feelings of loneliness, who take advantage of people's desire to find answers for themselves. And they turn that into a relationship with their clients that is very codependent. The psychic or medium is depending on the client for income, heavily dependent on the client for income, and the client's depending on the psychic or medium for insights and sense of security and safety. Help me feel better about myself, about life. Now, this is the tricky part. There are many psychics and mediums who are truly talented who do that. There are some who are not talented at all. They're faking it, which makes the rest of us look really bad. But I would also dare to say that those who are truly talented, who take advantage of clients and their money, also make us look bad. Of course they do. Because then here comes that trope of, oh, psychics just want people's money. Mediums are just, they're tapping into people's grief about their loved ones just to make some money, right? So this makes a lot of us look bad. And there's a lot of, with good reason, like there's a lot of reason people have for criticizing this profession. There's been a lot of crap in this profession. I've mentioned this story before. There was an online psychic medium during COVID lockdown that I was connected with through a friend, and I didn't get a reading from her at first. It took me a couple months, but it took her saying some very wild things for me to be like, I'm unfollowing, detaching, because I was growing very dependent on her personally. I was going on her lives every week that she would do, and it was always the same 14 or 20 people on these lives, including my friend who connected me to this medium. And just now that I look back, and again, I forgot to mention, I had not started my journey of development as a psychic medium, okay? I had caught on to her lives and her social media maybe a few months before. This was summer of 2021. And the moment that I discovered my mediumship abilities, well, I had already practiced as a psychic, just with friends and family with tarot cards. But mediumship, that wasn't until October or September 2021. Okay? My first episode on my podcast about connecting with the soul of Ryan is all about that. The moment that I discovered my mediumship abilities, I had told her that on a live in front of people, and she said, like, one of the first things she said was, well, be careful. Like, be careful. Be careful. And I believed it. I was questioning a little bit the negative response she had. To me, that's negative. Because it just makes it seem like, okay, this is scary now, right? And by this point, y'all, I had been pretty dependent on her as a client. Again, I never paid for a reading until a couple months into following her lives. I got a reading with her, and then my awakening happened with my mediumship abilities, and then she's saying, be careful. So it's that we had built a virtual relationship by this point. We weren't close, but I was one of the constant people in her circle of followers that was really paying attention to her. Which is, by the way, kind of odd, the fact that I even called it a relationship, because it truly was a client-psychic relationship. But now that I look back and as I'm describing it to you, it's not a relationship I would ever pursue with a client. It's just too much, way too much. So once she started spewing these conspiracy theories and saying these things that I thought were really inappropriate for a psychic to talk about, some medical related things, okay? Giving some medical opinions that I thought were way out of line. I unfollowed her and she got really pissed. And she called me out on it without naming my name, calling me a Judas. Literally. She said, I've been Judased. So, why am I sharing that story for like the 400th time? Because I want to drive home to, especially many of you who may be starting on your spiritual journey. I'm not trying to scare you. Please don't think I'm trying to scare you. I'm empowering you to think for yourself. I'm empowering you to question. I am a psychic medium, and I believe I am a talented psychic medium. And I am human. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I may say the wrong thing in a reading. I really hope to God that I don't say the wrong thing in a reading. But it may happen because I'm not thinking one day. And I'm going to apologize for it, take responsibility for it. Many psychic mediums will not do that. Many psychic mediums will take advantage of clients and their grief or their desire for insight. And what I want you to take away from this conversation I'm having with you right now on this podcast is to think for yourself. Trust your instinct. Trust yourself. Because I remember there were times that she would say some things, this medium, and I would think, oh, that's a little rude to say to somebody. That's not nice what she just said to that person. But she's a psychic medium. She knows stuff. I don't know anything. Trust your instinct. Don't do what I did. Trust your instinct. You won't regret it. There's another instance where I was going to partner up with someone, a friend of mine who's in the spiritual world, and we had different philosophies on what it means to different philosophies on the frequency of clients seeing me. I was going to work with them as a psychic reader, and I just felt this pressure to when it comes to this stuff, psychic mediumship and my readings, I would admit that I am not the best at marketing myself because I feel I'm trying to find the sweet spot between telling people, come see me, come see me, come see me, and letting people come see me when they want to because they feel ready to. It's not easy, I believe, to mark yourself as a psychic medium because you don't want to force people to come see you, especially when they're not in the right energy or not ready. But you also want to get the bookings, right? And so with this friend of mine, I felt like there was some pressure that I just felt like there was a misalignment in how we saw marketing and promotion of this work. And that's okay. I'm not saying one is right, one is wrong. They and I were marketing, promoting different things between us. Like I was marketing or I wanted to promote my readings. They were promoting something else about their business. And when I told them, look, I am not going to tell someone to come see me next week when they've seen me today. And they were surprised to hear that. They said, oh, really? I was like, yeah, I wouldn't tell someone to do that. I don't want people growing dependent on me. And I had said this in regards to mediumship readings. And I should pause for a second and clarify. I was going to do psychic readings with my cards, which is looking into life insights. That's something I'm comfortable doing once a week for the same person. That's okay. But I was telling them, look, with mediumship readings, I don't want to tell someone, come see me next week. And they were a little surprised to hear that. And that's when I knew, this is not going to work for me. I can't collaborate with this person. And God bless them. It's not that they have an issue here. They just see this very differently than I do. And I just don't have it in me to tell somebody, come talk to your grandma again in a week. Just can't do it. Grandmas love me, by the way, gotta say. In readings, mediumship readings, grandmas adore me. I don't know why. I'm adorable, right? Anyways, that's besides the point. I'm not going to tell somebody to do that. To me, that just feels wrong. Can you imagine if a medium told somebody, I'm so glad you got to connect with your son today. Come see me again next week to talk to him. It's not cool. Just not cool. So you don't need a psychic medium. Now, when should you see a psychic medium? Now, I'm not saying when do you need a psychic medium. When should you see a psychic medium? Maybe they sound the same to you. But as I'm going to go into the reasons you should see a psychic medium, you'll understand that it doesn't come from a place of need. It comes from a place of you desiring something out of the experience. So you should see a psychic or medium if you want extra validation about your loved ones. That's seeing a medium, okay? You should see a medium if you want extra validation about your loved ones. Let's say you're experiencing things in your life like 555, 444, and you're seeing butterflies if you're coming from your grandma. You see white, pink elephants, and you feel like it comes from your daughter who passed. And you feel the energy of your loved ones, and you also want some extra validation that, maybe that you're not, maybe you're thinking, am I imagining this? Which I want to tell you now, you're not. But maybe you want that extra validation. Go see a medium who's been recommended to you, who has great reviews, whom you trust, okay? You should see a psychic when you want extra validation about a life topic. Again, practice trusting your own intuition about your life, issues that come up in your life, questions you have about your life, about people in your life. Trust your intuition, trust the gut feeling. Go see a psychic because you want an extra validation of what you're already feeling. Or maybe you're feeling a little lost and you want some guidance. That's okay too. It's different to want some guidance and then step away from that reading and go and apply the guidance, right? Then it is to go over and over again to the same psychic every 3 days. Can you tell me more? Can you tell me more? Because then you're not applying the guidance you got from that psychic into your life. You need time to apply it. You should see a psychic or a medium if you want a second opinion about something. Similar to the extra validation, and notice I use the word extra, okay? These are experiences that you can help validate yourself if you believe and have faith. But if you want that second opinion, you want to get out of your own head. Because look, no one's perfect. We can get signs and it feels great, but then we ask ourselves, did I just imagine that? Or am I just attributing a meaning to that sign that actually isn't there? And while I'm telling you, please trust your intuition, know that it's real, I'm not going to judge you for thinking that, because I think the same thing sometimes. I question the signs I get thinking, that's too good to be true. You can go see a psychic or a medium to help validate those signs, to help validate those messages you're feeling, to validate what your intuition is telling you, okay? And as you're going to see a psychic or medium, just be aware of that God complex. If you notice that a psychic or a medium starts to talk to you like they are the best resource for you, like they're the only resource for you, like you need them to get through the day, to get through the week, get through life, notice that. Just notice that. You're going to want to see a psychic or a medium is going to empower you, inspire you to live your life to the fullest, to live your life authentically, and to live your life trusting yourself. It's like the difference between when I think about a teacher wants to see their students succeed. A good teacher wants to see their students succeed and is open to their students even surpassing them in intelligence, in talent, in wit, in brilliance, and a teacher's okay with that. A psychic medium should do the same. A psychic medium should not be concerned about your light shining and should inspire you, should empower you to shine that light as bright as possible, even if it means that you're going to surpass them. Let's say you're in a mentorship program for psychic mediumship. A good psychic medium who is a mentor to you will not make you feel bad for having abilities that may be stronger than theirs. So be on alert for the God complex. And this is the kind of philosophy, these are the philosophies, the ways of thinking that I lead with in my readings. Having gone through the journey so far of meeting psychics early in my development who had a God complex made me think I don't ever want to do that to people. Because I am one of millions of mediums out there who are doing this work professionally. I'm not going to pretend like I'm the best one out there. Everyone's different. Every medium is different. You got to find the one that fits for you. So, if you feel like I'm a fit for you, then you book a reading with me. Just go to my website and you can do it. But I think it's important to really pay attention to how a medium talks to you or how a psychic talks to you in a reading. You want to step away from that reading not feeling like crap. Maybe you get called out. That's okay too. Some psychics and mediums will call you out on something, but they should do it in a way that's going to empower you to want to change, not make you feel like, well, damn, I'm a loser. No. That's not the kind of energy a psychic or medium should be bringing to a reading. So just to recap, plain and simple, you don't need a psychic medium. Ever. We are a bonus. We are an extra push. We are a boost. And it's worth getting that boost once in a while. It's worth going to that restaurant once in a while to enjoy that meal. It's okay. And if you decide to see one of us, psychics, mediums, consider us guides. Those extra boosts of inspiration. Consider us a helper on your journey. Not the key to unlocking your journey. A guide, a signpost, helping you to go in the right direction. And also giving you some choose your own adventure kind of experience, Because life is never really definite, is it? We have different choices we can make, and a psychic can help you understand what each choice can lead to. But most importantly, help you understand how much power you have in that choice, and that this is your journey to live. And I believe personally, as a medium, when it comes to bringing your loved ones through, I don't believe that loved ones have a strict opinion about your life choices unless it's going to really harm you or harm other people. They want to honor your free will choice and your experience of learning from mistakes and learning from the joys and the challenges and the successes and the failures. That's where this boost of inspiration comes from. The inspiration that a psychic or medium can give you to live life to the fullest, to live life authentically, to live life being you. Most important thing. So I will see you on the next episode. And if you feel like you know somebody who sees psychics a lot, feel free to share this episode with them. I'll see you on the next episode. This podcast is really about helping you trust your own intuition and step into your power. If you'd like to work with me directly, you can learn more at juanfrancisco.co. That's juanfrancisco.co. And please remember to subscribe to the podcast and share it with a friend.